Hi everybody, I'm KristineTheMean, and today, 2nd of February 2021, we have the 3rd edition of Fantasy Clash and Clash Esports News that we're going to run through today. So I am excited to have all of you join me, whether you're live or whether you are watching later on YouTube. This is, like I said, our 3rd edition, so we have all kinds of stuff to cover. What happened in the last week in the world of Fantasy Clash and Fantasy Esports. So let's get moving on this. First of all, we go through Fantasy Clash stuff. So, whoops, here we go. What happened? Oh my gosh. So UWL, Universal War League, is in the middle of the semifinals, their playoff series. So they had both semifinal wars this week. And the first one that we are going to look at here is Bharat versus Star Trek. Okay, Bharat puts up a perfect in the semifinals. 5 triples. That is an overwhelmingly beautiful performance by Bharat. And they do eliminate Star Trek from the competition. Star Trek putting up a very respectable 1394.8, but just can't quite meet the power of Bharat. So we had triples from Busan Kratos, Papa Mogambo, Manish Kartik, and Manish and Kartik. That's who we had from Bharat. Hi Bramble, how are you? Good to see you. And from Star Trek, triples from DA Leaf, SF Mana, and LOL Boy. So some good triples on both sides, and yet Bharat manages to bring home the win with a perfect. So moving into UWL other semifinal, we had Zepto versus Benelux Esports. And Benelux Esports wins this just barely. Look at those percents. Benelux Esports with the 1395.2 compared to Zepto's 1394.4. So just barely. Benelux Esports just makes it into the championship. They will be playing against Bharat. Now again, Bharat put up a perfect. So this could be a challenge for Benelux Esports going into the finals. But making it to the finals is a huge accomplishment. So our congratulations to Benelux Esports. Triples from A Holy Christian, General Boo, and Trolls on the Benelux Esports side. Triples from It's John Sena, Rico, and Noob Sasha over there on the Zepto side. So that is what happened in the UWL semifinals. Now, so this is, we now have our finals going on. Bramble is saying that I should go into horse racing. Apparently, he thinks I'm a horse. That it would be incorrect. I am not going to run, but thank you for thinking of me. And noticing that my physique would be exceptionally good for running. So, Bharat and Benelux Esports will meet each other in the finals of the Universal War League this week. On the fantasy side for this, so fantasy rosters, on one half of our fantasy roster, we had a Dawson meeting a Dawson. So Noswad is Dawson and Dawson is Dawson, and he was meeting himself. So guess what? He won. And I was saying earlier in one of my tweets that he had an easy side of the bracket. And he's like, no, I didn't. I had to face myself. And I'm like, dude, you had like a free skate into the championship by facing yourself. So, oh, the fast talking. Okay, Bramble. Well, maybe, I could think about horse racing. I don't know. So anyway, Dawson indeed does make it to the finals. On the other side of the bracket, we have Wow Who Cares against GG Crew. Okay, now the thing to notice that I didn't point out about both of those Dawsons is that he had plenty of active players. On the other side of the bracket, we had a little bit of a challenge with Wow Who Cares and GG having rosters full of people who did not play. So Wow Who Cares here ended up with 3 players and a defense, and GG Crew ended up with only 2 players and a defense. So Wow Who Cares does make it to the finals. Now, he's got a tough road ahead of him. having to fill up a whole roster and try to meet Dawson where he's at, coming from a place of only having 3 active players. So we will have to see how that goes. But both GG and WoW were plagued by having inactive players on their roster. Hello, Dragdamake. How are you? All right. So that is UWL. We did in the Outliers Fantasy Clash, we did indeed eliminate 2 of our fantasy owners, eliminating GG Crew and 1 of the Dawson accounts this week, which brings us to our final fantasy bracket, where we will have the Noswad version of Dawson facing WoW Who Cares in our championship. So the UWL has, within that, we will have Benelux Esports versus Bharat. And on the fantasy side, we will have Noswad versus WoW Who Cares. Oh, you are Maquatro. Okay, Maquatro. Dragdamake Maquatro. Hi. How are you? So let's take a peek at these rosters, because one of the things that has happened here is that, we've only got Bharat and Benelux Esports in the finals, and we've got WoW Who Cares and Dawson in the finals. So they have sort of mixed and matched the players. And you kind of look at WoW Who Cares up at the top there, and you think, oh, he's got more Bharat than Benelux, but Trolls has been a really strong contributor from Benelux Esports all along. General Boo often plays. So those Benelux Esports players are still going to be valuable to WoW Who Cares. And on the Noswad side, he's got more Benelux than he's got Bharat. But, he is still deep in both. So we've got this mix. And it's all going to come down to which one of these 2 managed to pick more active players. And I don't know the answer. I can't wait to see the final and see how this comes out. So that is our update on UWL. We will have a final fantasy event between WoW Who Cares and the Noswad version of Dawson. Moving on to our Event Hub thing. All right, so the Event Hub Winter Championship this week went from 32 down to 16. Oh, wait, no, it went from 16 to 8. Sorry about that, 16 to 8. And we had Fallout. We had eliminations. We had World Top Korea and Rest and Supremacy BR and War Agency ES and Full Energy and Vanguard and Underdogs and Nova. All eliminated at the round of 16 for Event Hub. So who's left in it? Well, who's left in it? King's Circle versus Exit Esports. Lost Metagaming versus Ocean's Oasis Alpha. Team Pushers versus Silent Snipers. And PX Zerake, I want to say Zerake, versus the Umanmanda. So these are the matchups that we can expect to watch this week on the Event Hub World Championship Playoff Series in the round of 8. From a fantasy standpoint, we also have put together, well, there's the King's Rock, Aaron. I think you're part of the King's Circle crew, is my guess. So we also have our fantasy bracket put together, with the upper left being Dion versus Welsh Wizard in this quarterfinal. We have Hammy versus Casually Candor in the lower left part of this quarterfinal. Tuath Day's Overthinkers against Shawnee Sean 05 in the upper right now. Okay, Tuath Day has been playing fantasy longer than anybody. And Shawnee Sean is on the event staff for Event Hub. So, that one is, I'm looking forward to seeing how that one comes out. And on the bottom, we have Dawson versus Basso, which I also am looking forward to, because Dawson has actually, this is Basso's first time playing fantasy, and Dawson's been helping him. And now Dawson has to face him, and Dawson's like, oh, this could be pretty rough. So we will have to see how the fantasy quarterfinals come out as we watch the Event Hub actual in-game quarterfinals. So one of the rosters I did want to point out is Casually Candor has managed to go, we're going to call this all in on the Umanmanda. Casually Candor has 5 Manda players out of his 8 deep roster, plus the Manda defense. He's totally all in. Now, that's a very dangerous thing to do. You can very easily get eliminated, or your roster can get gutted, and it's hard to come back from that. On the other hand, he seems pretty confident in TUM. So we'll see how it goes. He's missing some of the, some of the newer players, like Dog Woof Woof is on TUM and isn't on this roster. So we'll have to see how Casually Candor does going all in on TUM. That is my fantasy roster highlight of the day. So now we're going to move out of fantasy and start talking about all of the random stuff that random like Twitter and league news. So now this is Team 99%, which is a Clash of Clans team, I guess. I don't really know Team 99%. I don't know if any of you know them, but they are looking for a player to complete their team, which I thought was funny because I don't really know them, and so I don't really know who the other 4 players are on their team. But anyway, if you want to compete with Team 99%, you can see that Arcos, #9557 on Discord, is the person to contact. Now, that was January 26th. It wasn't quite a week ago that Team 99% posted that on Twitter. We also have Maximus as a free agent. Maximus posting that he is a free agent. Maximus 5583 on Discord, if anybody is looking for a free agent to fill out their team. Now we have a new entrant. So we have, I don't know if this is pre or if it's pri. I'm going to go with pre. Pre-Clash presenting a new all-female team. So, we've had the Evil Witches have kind of shown up and been pretty successful. And I think there's a couple of other all-female teams that are doing all right, but we have a new one on the scene. And the players on this all-female team that is called Champions. Okay, it's ESPOR3. So I can't tell if that's Champions Esport, Champions Espor, Espor 3. I'm having trouble with this. But the roster here is Karishima, Pri, Serenader, Gisabella, Bruna Vodevil, Desa, Bruna 7CR, who I know is a streamer, and Nikita. So Maquatro would like to join. Maquatro commenting here that he would like to join Pri. Well, why don't you try? I think you should try. And Bramble does not like my new, my fantasy and esports news format. Bramble, I did not think you would like it. I am sorry, but I didn't think you would like it. And there's Yuhave, all happy to see another all-female team on the scene. So our next bit of news from Twitter. Oh no, it's INTZ. Oh no, this breaks my heart. I don't know if this breaks your heart or not, but Bernal posts that he's really not going to compete. He's just going to push this year. Renan retired. Loop went to QSFN, and then Marinol tweets that he's leaving, and he and Celino are looking to play together. So on a different team. And this just breaks my heart because INTZ, they've just been consistently very good. And I know that they had a heartbreaking 2020, not winning, losing in a couple of times. But man, they were just so present in the very, very deep into the, playoff series and a lot of events that it breaks my heart. Also, being on staff for the Global Clash Cup, I am going to just point out that the semifinal match, I think it was between INTZ and Penta. And Penta did win, but that match it was streamed by Fernandon Games, and he had over 5,500 simultaneous viewers of that match. His biggest stream ever, Global Clash Cup's biggest stream ever, was a semifinal match that had INTZ in it. We are really going to miss these guys. And from a fantasy perspective, both Bernal and Marinal have been, in the past, the most valuable player from a fantasy draft perspective. And in fact, I did just send Bernal his t-shirt the other day, his Fantasy Clash MVP t-shirt for being the first one drafted. I think it was in September. He finally saw the tweet. So anyway, this breaks my heart. And I see that Kings Rock Aaron is claiming their modders. I am not going to speak to that. I just know that I've seen them play very, very deep in many, many events. And I'm sad to see this happen to them. So, okay. Oh my gosh. Aphelion Esports. Okay, so Aphelion Esports, you know, like in November, announces this pro roster, which is what we see up here kind of in the middle. Cap, Toby, Kairos, Maz, Sammy, Grisha. And they put out this, like, graphic and they tweeted that. Well, so this morning, Wangs tweets that they're getting started. They've got 6 teams. So I did a little crawl into their Discord server where they announced all the other 5 teams. So you all can just get ready to watch 6 Aphelion teams show up everywhere, because that's a lot of Aphelion. It starts to look kind of like, you know, Golden X will field a lot of teams. The M2M crew fields a lot of teams. Unicorns of Love at times is able to have a whole bunch of rosters. And so we're starting to see Aphelion trying to put up as many rosters as some of those other big names. So I'm not going to read through all of these rosters for you, but they have named them and put them into groups. So that is our news from Aphelion of the day. Worlds. How could we not talk about Worlds? Okay, so probably most of you have seen this, probably, but I'm going to run through it really fast. So Supercell puts out their announcement about Worlds, and the route to get your team to Worlds starts out with the Supercell Clan War League, in-game War League. According to the announcement, you have to end in Champs 1, 2, or 3, and then you somehow are able to register in-game for the monthly pre-qualifier, which would be a single elimination bracket with teams of 5. And who, from however many register for that, they're going to play single elimination down to only 6 teams. So those 6 teams that make it out of the pre-qualifier single elimination bracket go to a monthly qualifier double elimination bracket. And from that, they declare one winner who will get a golden ticket to Worlds and one second place who will get a silver ticket. So there's 6 of these, and so there will be 6 golden tickets that come out of the monthly qualifiers, and then 6 silver tickets that will go to the last chance qualifier. This last chance qualifier then has all of these silver ticket winners plus 4 other leagues. So we know the winners of 4 other leagues will also be given the silver ticket and get a chance to play the last chance qualifier. And then whoever wins and comes in second in the last chance qualifier also gets a golden ticket. So there's like a couple of different routes here. And then the World Championship gets your 6 golden tickets from the monthly wins, 2 golden tickets from the last chance qualifiers, prize pool $1 million. Maquatro is saying that Supercell wants more teams, but the reality is they're going to be the same names in the end anyway. Well, I mean, Maquatro, if you're good, you're good. If you're good, you're going to win, and if you're not that good, then I mean, I think that's okay if it's the same. If it's the same anyway, then it means that they were the right people to begin with. Right? But now I look at this and I have questions. I have so many questions that, as far as I know, have not yet been answered. So my first key question is, if you have a clan playing in Champs 1, 2, or 3, how many teams can you register from that clan for the pre-qualifier? So somebody said that Lexno said on a video that it was more than 1, and but you know, I have not seen anything official here yet. So I do not know how many, like, if you are a clan in Champs 1, which obviously you would have 15 players playing in Champs 1, can you register 3 teams? Can you register 5 teams? Is it 2 teams? Can they have different clan tags? I mean, it seems kind of odd. I don't understand how that works at all. My second question here, which, okay, all of these things will get answered. Yes, they will get answered. But right now, I have questions. My next question, the announcement says it is a 2-day bracket for the monthly pre-qualifier. Okay, well, a 2-day bracket is great, but what kind of timing on that 2-day bracket? You know, because sometimes, you know, those monthly, like last year, the monthly qualifiers, they sort of had a rotating time zone on those, so that depending on which month, it would start either at a more convenient or a less convenient time for you. And I hope they do that again, but it seems sort of awkward with the whole in-game registration thing. I'm just anxious to see how that works. All right, I have more questions. More questions. So my next question is, which 4 leagues are going to produce silver tickets to the Last Chance qualifiers? So many of you know that I am on the staff for the Global Clash Cup. And being on staff for the Global Clash Cup, I would love it if the Global Clash Cup winner of the Gothic division got a silver ticket. That would be very cool. But who is Supercell going to pick, and how are they going to pick them? I mean, there's a lot of leagues, and I'll be getting into league news in a few minutes. And holy moly, there's a lot of leagues. How are they going to pick? So I think that's a very key question. And then, okay, ESL appears to not be involved. So how exactly are they going to coordinate this? You know, as much as, like, I used to complain about ESL, and there was a lot to complain about there, you know, they did have a tool that put together a bracket, and you could see who your opponent was, and there was a way to put in a ticket, and there were things like that at least today, we don't have that in game. So, and it would be weird to me if Supercell went to all the trouble to reinvent all that stuff. So I want to know how this works. I really want to know the nuts and bolts of why this works. And the reason I'm so concerned about the nuts and bolts is because my big question, my personal big question is there a way to create a fantasy event with the monthly pre-qualifiers, the qualifiers, the LCQ, and the World Championships? Because last year, the way they did it, I was able to create fantasy events around the closed qualifiers quite effectively, and my fantasy players had a hell of a lot of fun playing those. And I'm a little concerned that I won't be able to do that this year. That would make me very sad. So that is my big question. And I know it's probably, I'm the only one with this big question, but I do have that big question. Okay, let's move on to our next thing. League news about the Fury Cup. Fury Cup playoffs. Round of 32 are happening right now for Fury. These are the clans that are still in it. Dark Lords, Titan Esports, FTW Esports, M2 Warriors, M2 Ninja J-Off, Too Late for Shiver, Team H2O Space Station, KOG, QSFN, Aphelion Esports, Benelux Esports, Dark Unicorns, Warhunters UK, MB Esport, Method to Madness, Orion Gaming, Lost Metagaming, Camilla Royals, RTI, M2 Warriors Lab, Funfair Warfare, UOL Hell, Barat Goodfellas, Team Void, WTKES, One Star Only Resistance, Family is Power, and Zombie Doom. Alright, I read through all of those only because I wanted to point out that M2 Warriors, M2 Ninja, Method to Madness, and M2 Warriors Lab are all still in it. So the Method to Madness crew is coming on strong in Fury. So it's good to see this bracket progressing. That league feels to me like it's suffering, and so but it has had a good history, and I would like to see it continue. So I'm glad to see that there's some progression in this bracket. Next, Global Clash Cup applications are still open. So until February 8th, you can get your Town Hall 13 5v5 team ready to go. Get on the Global Clash Cup Discord and get your team registered. They close on February 8th, which is not too many days away. But there's still time. If you have not registered, go out there and check out Global Clash Cup. Another league news, the FCA. Okay, FCA has a tournament happening, and the registrations are open for this right now. Registrations are open until the 16th of February. Now, this is a tournament with like one of those defined time, shorter duration things. It's a single elimination. with 2 rounds on February 18th, 2 rounds on the 19th, 2 rounds on the 20th, and the final on the 21st. 5v5 Town Hall 13, 5-minute prep, 30-minute wars. Master roster holds 9. And I put the link to the Discord right there on the screen. So if you're interested in joining up with the MFCA, now this is going through game.tv, so it's got some of that weird like rigmarole with getting registered. Prize $50 for the winner, and second prize has 5 custom bases. So we have something here to register for. There's a lot that's not in registration, so I wanted to highlight those couple things that are. CWL tweeted out this morning, Champions War League this morning puts out a tweet that says loading. Now I bring this up because CWL has had a very successful esports program and had put out a statement a while ago saying they were taking a short break. So this thing saying loading suggests that at least on the horizon, their break might be ending. So we will stay tuned for CWL news. Leagues, oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a lot that are currently just playing. Pitt is in a bye week. The WCL is in week 4 right now. Evolve Your Game Pro Div is in week 1. Boom Mobile League is in week 1. The CCF Excellency, I think it might be in week 5. They kind of, some of these hide a lot of good information from people who aren't actually clan reps. And so I was trying to figure this out from their server. I think it's probably week 5 that they're in, but I couldn't, it might be 4 and it might be 6. So Clash Masters League is in week 4. The Clash Champs Cup in week 1. Top War League, again, I can't tell. Is this bye week or it's a week 3? It's sort of hidden from me, and there didn't appear to be a lot tweeted. I think Black Widow is starting playoffs. That one was a little hard to discern as well. And they're currently in week 2 of the Intercontinental League Cup. So that is where all of the, well, not all of them, but many of them. I'm trying to stay on top of as many of these as I can. So Maquatro is saying this kind of stream is awesome because otherwise you wouldn't have time to look at all of it. Yes, well, this is what I am trying to do now, Maquatro. I am trying to keep up with the news of the day. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Moving on, LIC. So the LIC has, Kings Rock Aaron does say that Black Widow is starting playoffs this week. I couldn't find a bracket for that, Kings Rock Aaron. Again, some of those Discord servers, like they set the perms so that if you're not actually in it, you can't see anything. So I couldn't find a bracket, but I'm glad, thank you for confirming they're going to playoffs. So LIC is down to the championship match. So this week they had Queen Walkers versus HT Family in a best of 2 semifinal, and Queen Walkers did win that. So Queen Walkers is going to the finals of the LIC. And on the other side, RTK versus EM Legion Divina, which I think is the Exalt Might team. The Exalt Might team, and so they had a best of 2. It came down to RTK wins both wars and the best of 2. So actually the war, the Queen Walkers war, Queen Walkers only won 1, HT Family won the second one, and then Queen Walkers won the series. So it'll be interesting and exciting to watch Queen Walkers versus RTK in the finals of the LIC. This has been, I think, a fair number of weeks of pretty good competition in LIC. Moving on, Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, this is the same thing I put up. I could not find an updated bracket from Blitzkrieg. So Zarake War meet Filipinos Finest last week in the semifinals. And so Zarake War will be moving on to the finals for Blitzkrieg. And on the other side of the bracket, we had Never Back Down meeting Dream. And Never Back Down won. So Blitzkrieg Finals has been set for February 7th at 9 a.m. EST. And you should watch for that. Zarake War versus Never Back Down. And I can't remember how much the prize pool was for Blitzkrieg. I'll be able to announce it next week. So that is the Blitzkrieg news. Top Warriors Cup is in playoffs at this point. So we're in the round of 16 playoffs here. Titan Esports versus Team Bangladesh. Aussie Alliance versus Gladiators. Camilla Royals versus Bharat. Mahabharatham versus Indian Tribe. Int Sports versus the Bharat. Odisha Esports versus Realm of Terror. Zarake versus Reapers Esports. And EM Chosen versus Warmongers. So this should be happening. Oh, gosh, I don't know if Top Warriors Cup has a bye week or not for SCCWL. So that'll either start this week or next week, that playoff series. And that is it for the league news, at least all that I've found. Now, if any of you are watching are involved with other leagues and there's news I'm missing, tag me or send me a note or something, because I would like to stay on top of things. I didn't quite make it through all the servers, but I think I got through most of them where there's good stuff happening that's related to Town Hall 13 Esports. So moving on, a just little quick note before I sign off here. Esports League ratings. We are doing these in the Competitive Clash Network Discord server. You can join the server and you can write a rating or a review of a league that you have some kind of experience with. And so right now we have these ratings available currently for Event Hub, Champions War League, Global Clash Cup Gothic, Indian Clan War League, the ICWL, Universal War League, UWL, Fury Cup, Team Excalibur, who is both a team and they run tournaments, and MLCW Esports. So all of those are currently available on the Competitive Clash Network Discord server. There's just a little quick link and you can go read and learn about some of these. So as additional registration periods come open, you can decide whether that's the kind of thing you want to participate in or not. Sometimes the ratings are useful and sometimes the comments are actually the most fun. So that, my friends, is what I have for you today. And I am showing links to the Outliers Fantasy Clash and links to the Competitive Clash Network. Also, if you go to the About Me, you can find links to my Patreon. You can find links to everything. So anyway, thank you for joining me today. This has been episode 3 of Fantasy Clash and Clash Esports News.